So they sent us along to infectious disease, but because it, as a specialist, that appointment wasn't for another month. So I remember thinking either I'm going to be better by then, like we're going to have figured out what this was, or I'll be dead and I won't even make it. I remember having that cognitive thought of like, this is kind of a stupid appointment to make. Even though I didn't know how to vocalize that. I did not know how to advocate for myself in that way. I just knew something was really wrong, and this appointment was either I wasn't even going to make it. I was probably not even going to make it to this appointment. By then, my quality of life had deteriorated so much. This was Mother's Day weekend. I can see it in my eyes, like I'm not feeling well. And this is the time where I was like having to bring Tylenol, ibuprofen with me everywhere I went, because when it wore off, my fever would get sky high again. This was beginning of June at my husband's birthday dinner. There's my husband, well, boyfriend then, but husband now. I remember eating dinner and starting to feel really sick, like my fever was coming back again. I'm always having to carry meds with me. I look pale, and you can see, I can always, in these pictures back of this time, when I look back, I can see it in my eyes. My mom always says it about my kids when they start to get sick. She's like, their eyes don't look kind of right. I can see it in my eyes, like I just am lousy. Another one. I'm so dang tired. I'm so pale. I'm so sick. Again, you can just see it in my eyes. I just look bad. So my quality of life is continuing to deteriorate day after day after day in this moment. And I was on a continual cycle of Tylenol and ibuprofen. That was all I could take to bring the fever down. I don't know if there was, the doctor gave me some doxycycline, so like that antibiotic, for a little bit. Again, that didn't do anything. I was on a steroid for a little bit. That really didn't do anything. That worked for like 2 days. It brought the fever back down, or within like a normal range, a low grade fever. But once those ran out, I had maybe 5 days of those. And then it was back up again, consistently, continually. I would wake up in the middle of the night with night sweats, and I'd wake myself up because I was so cold from my fever, but also like shaking and having to like redose my meds then. So I'm never getting a full night's sleep. I'm always carrying, like I've got, even still after this, any jean jacket I put on, if I hadn't worn it in a year, there's usually probably Tylenol or ibuprofen tucked in the pocket somewhere, because I'm just lining my coats with it everywhere I go, because I consistently need to have it with me. And one evening, I remember my kids were home and the neighbor kids were here, and they were playing, and my fever started climbing up there again. And I thought, I'm so cold, I'll take a bath and see if that can warm me up, which was so stupid. But when you have a fever, you're not thinking clearly. So I got in the tub, and of course the hot water made my fever skyrocket. So I'm lucky I didn't pass out in there. I got out of the tub and remedicated, and just kind of waited for the ibuprofen to do its job again. In between all this, the kids are running in and out asking me questions, and it just is a summer day for the kids to play and enjoy. And I remember just being like, yeah, whatever, because I'm not thinking clearly. By the time my fever comes down and I can have like a better awareness of like what is happening around me, I go downstairs, and my kids are in like the back part of the garage, with the attic of the garage open, and the long like extended ladder fully extended up to the ceiling. They're pulling like siding out and old snow skis that I think were the previous owners, like different things out of the attic. We've never even been up there. I've lived here for 10 years and I've never even been up there. And the kids and the neighbor kids were all just running amok up in the attic. And I felt so bad, because it was like the Lord of the Flies here. They could have gotten hurt and I would have had no clue. And I remember thinking, this cannot continue to go on. I don't know how one is supposed to function in this state, but I am lucky that I'm still alive, and I don't know how these kids are all still, like, this is absolute madness.